Hey, what is up, my buttercups? It's Amy, and Jared is on the bus already. This bus is getting like earlier and earlier. During the school year, we had the problem with the bus never showing up till later. Now we're having issues where I'm like sitting there and going out the door, and the bus is already sitting here. So it's like, okay. And like it wasn't even like 8 o'clock yet. I'm just like, really? Whatever, you know. Always something. So yeah, we're gonna get this day started. We got little man's doing his program today, and I got some Shady Brook action going on today. So yeah, we're gonna hopefully get this day started, because afterwards we got some things we gotta do. Jared has a new eval today for his wrap services. We haven't really talked too much about Jared's services because not too much has been going on. Everything's kind of been in a lull at this point. So what's going on now is we're going for his recert today. And basically what it does, it's an eval to kind of gather whether he still needs services or additional services or whatever the case may be. So we're going to do that. And then once all that's taken care of, I want to talk to the doctor, because we are currently still having a few little meltdowns. Yeah, this is what we dealt with this morning. He was banging his head. Yeah, got it bleeding. His head is so scratched up though. And you know, some of it is from banging his head or pressing his head into stuff. But he also has a really, really, really bad dry scalp. And he loves to pick at his scalp constantly. And that's what that was from this morning. Well, it started bleeding, and he started having a fit because it was bleeding. And I'm like, well, if you didn't pick it, it wouldn't bleed. But whatever. So I'm going to actually talk to the doctor, because we are also we also qualified for home health services. Now, the current issue what's going on is that his camp or ESY program ends on the 26th or 27th, I think it is, next week. And from that point up until August 13th, he has no childcare, no program, no nothing, no camp. And, you know, normally I would be like, okay, whatever. But the problem is I can't go 2 weeks without working. I mean, I'll be homeless. So we've been trying to get home health care for him for a little bit. And the thing that they're waiting for is a letter of medical necessity. Now, the argument with that is that the reason we need home health services is because the basic diagnosis of autism. But they want a letter of medical necessity from his general doctor, which does nothing with his autism services. He doesn't do RAP, he doesn't prescribe his medicines, he doesn't do any of that. The only thing he goes to his general doctor for is like when he's a sickie and when he's got a fever or something like that. He doesn't get anything through them. So we got to kind of double down. I got to get a letter from his pediatrician, which I spoke to already. They are working on that. I'm going to be picking that up Thursday. And then today, after the eval, Dr. Bob, no one can pronounce his last name, so they just call him Dr. Bob. Dr. Bob, I am going to speak to him about getting a letter together as well of medical necessity. Because he is a licensed doctor, so if we can get 2 letters, plus I sent this guy at the home health services his IEP, his ISP. For those of you who don't know the difference, the IEP is the education plan, like for school and stuff like that, like what he does in school. The ISP is his internal service plan, like what we're dealing with at home, what our interventions are at home and stuff like that. So, but I sent him a copy of both of those. So, I'm hoping that that's going to do it. Because these services need to start soon. Because I'm like I said, I can't go 2 weeks with no income. That's just crazy. So, yeah, so we're going to see. We're going to see how this goes. And I'm hoping it'll turn out for the better. I'm trying to think what else. Like, we got like different things going on. And then his camp, the fun camp that he goes to. This is the first year he's trying this particular camp, and it's specific special needs run through a local Catholic church, literally 1 block from my house. Like, God forbid if my car broke down, we could walk in there. It's that close. So that's a plus. We are very grateful they have that, but I don't know why there's like a 2-week lapse in between service like that. That's just weird. Yeah. So at this point, we're just gonna cross our fingers and hope so. And if this falls through, I need to devise a plan B. And I want to talk to Miss Shelly Belly and have a discussion with her, see if she would be willing for like 2 weeks, not to watch him full time, because I don't work full time. But even like if I scheduled 2 specific days that I was open for those 2 weeks, you know, like Tuesday and Thursdays or Monday, Wednesday, whatever works. Actually, I probably would ask if Monday and Wednesday would be feasible, because Thursdays she likes to go out. So that might work out better if we do Monday and Wednesdays. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. Yeah. So we're going to see what goes on with that. I'm hoping like a plan B can be devised at this point to see where they goes, you know. Other than that, not much else I can think about as far as his services go. Oh, here we go. As a little change of subject here. For my denture family out there, yeah, I just a brief update. I have not had any major issues with my teeth and my gums and everything. Everything seems to be copacetic so far. I am still adhesive free, so the dentures are still fitting like a glove. Now, if you guys had followed my last denture update video, I was having the readjustment done, and they kind of like, you know, just readjust it. The way my dentures work, I don't know how other ones do it, but with the way my dentures work, they kind of like put it, if you ever go in for eyeglasses and had to get your eyeglasses adjusted, and they put it in that sand kind of stuff to warm it up and bend it into place, that's kind of how my teeth are. Which is weird, because you would think that my body heat or drinking something hot or cold would like not form, they would get deformed that way, but they don't. But whatever it is, this procedure is they do to do the realignment, they actually like warm the whole plate up, and then they kind of press mold it into my gums. It sounds like a very weird procedure. I've never seen it before in my life, and a lot of other people have gotten their dentures. I've never heard them mentioning an adjustment like that. But, knock on wood, you know what? It's working. I will not complain about something that is working, that is for sure. You know, my eating habits have gotten very good. I've been able to eat more raw vegetables, fruits, and whatnot, which definitely makes a huge difference. My weight, I've been actually really doing good with my weight, and it's funny, a lot of people, they say when you get your dentures, you have a tendency to gain a lot of weight because you're eating more, whatever, you know, stuff that you like. But with me, it was, I've always been someone who's liked raw vegetables and salads and stuff like that, but I've never really just been able to enjoy them, so I didn't eat them that often, you know, because every time I go to eat something hard, like a carrot or something like that, I would break a tooth because my teeth were in such bad condition. The medication I take weakens my teeth to a point they like just would, they were so brittle, it was crazy. So, yeah. So we got them all done, and, you know, it was all good in the hood, you know. So now everything seems to be okay. I was having a lot of infection problems initially when I first got my dentures. I still get sore spots, but in really, really odd places. Like in the back, on the bottom, like where the eye tooth is down here. Like there's a little tiny bit of rubbing. And I don't want to Dremel it or anything like that, because knowing my luck, I would screw it up. So eventually I need to go back and maybe see if they can kind of file that down, or kind of like, you know, edge it up or something like that. But other than that, I've been doing pretty okay with, and like I said, I've been very pleasantly surprised. I haven't had to use any kind of nasty adhesives or anything like that. I've been very, very fortunate because I hear some real hellish stories that are out there of people that get sick on the denture stuff, and you know, and honestly, for me, the gag factor on any of those kind of adhesives, just, it's horrible. And I know there's a lot of people that are very sensitive to that, and others that are not. But, like, for me, I'm just happy I don't have to use it, because my gag factor is, like, forget it. So, yeah, so that was, like, my little mini denture update thing. Yeah, just been kind of, whittling through the weeks at this point. We've been just trying to get this drone up and flying again. Probably try again sometime before the weekend. This weekend we're supposed to get very strong thunderstorms coming through again. Last night it got ugly, but only for maybe about a half hour, and that quick, as soon as it started, it ended just quickly. So, same cigarette and just went out on me because I'm talking too much. Yeah, so I don't know. We're gonna try to see if we can get the drone up in the air. I would, if I can muster the money together, I would honestly love to try to take Jared swimming before the weekend's out. Because I keep promising we'll go swimming, but every time we go swimming, either the weather is so wonky weather-wise, it's either raining, or if it's so scalding hot out, like you can't even breathe outside, you know. So I'd like to try to do that. And yeah, we're gonna just kind of see where the rest of the week takes us at this point. So I may vlog a little bit later, you know, on our drive over to the eval. It's going to take a little bit to get to the eval. It takes a good half hour. We got to travel to an area called Feasterville, and from my area to Feasterville, it's like a good half hour, 45-minute drive, depending on traffic. So I'll probably be babbling and talking then too, most likely. But just in case not, I keep forgetting to close my darn blogs out. So just in case I don't get a chance to close the blog out, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, hit that favorite button, ring that bell, make sure you get those post notifications, and hopefully I'll catch y'all later.